want to start today by asking you something simple. What if January is not a quiet cultural month at all, but a kind of secret doorway, a moment when Europe exhales after the holidays and quietly reveals its most serious artistic intentions for the year ahead? Today, I am taking you through the most important fine art painting events across Europe in January 2026. Art fairs, museum days, landmark exhibitions, all of them real, all with precise dates, and all worth planning around. And yes, I have saved the most intriguing part for the end. My academic roots are in contemporary visual culture, and because of that, I live with a strange privilege. I know that while most people think nothing happens in art in winter, museums and fairs are actually setting the intellectual tone of the entire year. If you feel that art gives structure and meaning to your life, please like this video and subscribe. It truly helps this channel survive. And stay with me until the end, because the final section changes how you might plan your entire art year. I begin in London because late January in London is not accidental. The London Art Fair 2026 takes place at the Business Design Centre in Islington, one of those venues that feels industrial on the outside and intellectually charged inside. The VIP and industry preview happens on 20 January 2026, and the public fair runs from 21 to 25 January 2026. This fair has existed since 1989, and that longevity matters. It signals trust, it signals consistency, and collectors know it. Over 100 galleries gather here, showing modern 20th century painting alongside sharply current contemporary work. What excites me most this year is the platform section, curated by Dr. Ferren Gibson, under the theme The Unexpected. This is not decorative painting. This is work that tests materials, processes, and assumptions. Add to this a collaboration with the National Trust, bringing surrealist and post-war abstraction from historic British collections, and you get a fair that feels both experimental and grounded. Tickets range roughly from £22 to £27 for a day, with concessions and multi-day passes available. And beyond the booths, there are talks, guided tours, and real educational depth. But here is the question: what kind of painting will dominate the next decade? That answer starts forming here. If London sets the international tone, then Denmark offers something quieter and, in many ways, more intimate. Art Herning 2026 takes place from 9 to 11 January 2026 at the MCH Messe Center in Herning. This is Denmark's premier international art fair, and it has reached a fascinating maturity. 42 galleries, more than 250 artists, and a strong focus on Nordic contemporary and modern painting. What I find compelling about Art Herning is its balance. You see emerging Nordic painters experimenting with abstraction, figuration, and conceptual language placed right next to established international names. The result is not overwhelming, it is readable, it is thoughtful. This is a fair where new collectors feel welcome, not intimidated, and institutions quietly make serious acquisitions. Ticket prices have not yet been fully published for 2026, which is typical for this fair. But traditionally, there are day tickets and special passes. What matters more than the price is the atmosphere. Gallery talks, guided tours, and evening events inside the fair complex turn this into a social and intellectual gathering, not just a marketplace. If you are wondering why Nordic painting keeps gaining influence in European collections, this is where you start looking for answers. There is a specific restraint, a clarity, and sometimes a cold emotional precision that feels very contemporary. If you are enjoying this journey through January, take a moment to like and subscribe, and keep watching because we are about to move from fairs into something radically different. On 6 January 2026, something quietly extraordinary happens in Karlsruhe, Germany. ZKM, the Center for Art and Media Karlsruhe, opens its doors for a full open day, offering free admission to all exhibitions. This is not a small institution. We are talking about 15,000 square meters of exhibition space. ZKM is often associated with media art, digital experimentation, and interactive installations. And yes, all of that is here. But what many people miss is that ZKM also stages significant curated painting exhibitions and retrospectives, often placing painting in dialogue with technology and contemporary theory. On open day, you can move freely across disciplines, from traditional visual media to experimental formats, without paying a cent. There is something almost symbolic about this happening on the 6th of January, a reset, a public invitation to rethink what art can be. If you are a painter, a curator, or simply someone deeply curious about where visual culture is going, this day is invaluable. I always encourage people not to rush through ZKM. It is not built for speed, it is built for reflection, and the fact that entry is free removes any psychological barrier. You can walk in, stay for an hour, or stay for 6. Ask yourself this: when painting meets technology, does it lose something or does it gain new urgency? That tension is everywhere inside ZKM, and what comes next might surprise you even more. London appears again in January, but this time not as a fair, rather as a sequence of museum and gallery moments that quietly define contemporary painting discourse. At Serpentine South, Peter Doig's exhibition House of Music runs through 8th of February 2026. Doig is one of the most influential painters alive today, and this exhibition is not just a display of works, it is an immersion into memory, rhythm, and psychological space. Serpentine exhibitions are typically free or modestly priced, which makes this accessible without diluting its importance. At Tate Modern, Nigerian modernism continues through May 2026. This is a group presentation of over 50 artists exploring 20th century West African modernist painting and related practices. It reframes art history, it challenges Eurocentric narratives, and it does so with intellectual generosity. Entry to Tate Modern's general exhibitions is free, which still feels radical in today's museum economy. Then there is Chantal Joffe at Victoria Miro, on view until 17th of January 2026. Expressive, intimate, often uncomfortable portraiture fills the space. Private galleries like Victoria Miro usually offer free entry, though reservations are sometimes advised. This exhibition feels raw, personal, and very present tense. If you sense a pattern here, you are right. January is not empty, it is dense, it is strategic, and it invites slow looking. Before we move on, tell me in the comments which of these London exhibitions you would choose first. Beyond London, January 2026 offers painting-rich exhibitions across Europe's major capitals. Amsterdam, Paris, Berlin, Madrid all host retrospectives and thematic group shows where painting plays a central role within broader contemporary practice. Dates and entry fees vary by institution, but the pattern is consistent. Museums use January to position intellectually ambitious projects, knowing that serious audiences are paying attention. What matters is not just where these exhibitions happen, but when. January audiences tend to be focused, less distracted, more willing to engage deeply. That changes how painting is received. It becomes less spectacle and more conversation. If you are planning an art-focused trip, pairing a fair like London Art Fair or Art Herning with museum exhibitions creates a complete picture. You see both market dynamics and institutional narratives. You see what is selling and what is being canonized. And here is the part I promised to save for the end. January is when curators, collectors, and artists quietly observe each other. Decisions made now echo through biennials, auctions, and museum programs later in the year. If you want to understand where painting is heading in 2026, January is not optional. If this perspective helped you see the art calendar differently, please like this video and subscribe. It allows me to keep sharing these cultural maps with you. And as always, I leave you not with an ending, but with an invitation. Look closer, plan smarter, and let painting guide you into the year ahead.